Hello, good day everyone. We are going to have our discussion. Hopefully you are fine there. You are done with this module, then this will serve as your review as well. Okay, so we are going to start. Now, let us define first, these are the objectives that we are going to, these are the objectives that we are going to have for this module. Okay, we are going to define a formula, we can edit the formulas, and we are going also to use the basic arithmetic operations. And we also have to know the references. It's good to use references than that of values and those one. Okay, so first we're going to define formula. Yes, it is a data entry which is for logical operation. It is used for making use of solutions or solving quickly and more efficiently. Okay, now the composition of formula is you need to have a mathematical operator. In Excel, you need to have an equal sign, and then you need to have cell reference, and then the values or the functions like the sum, average, and so forth. The operators, so we have those operators. We have in Excel and in programming, the plus, the subtraction, addition, but the multiplication is asterisk. Okay, and then the division would be forward slash. For exponentiation, we have caret. Okay, so the examples will be, we can have this as formula. You can have the values itself, you can have the cell reference, you can also name the cell, and you also have, you can also name the cell, and you can also have the function, and this one, you can equate it as well. Okay, you can also concatenate like in our example before. If we are going to have an Excel now, taking a look at these example here. Okay, let's say any values you will do, say 30, 20. Now you can have the formula like this is equal to, with this one, 30 plus 20, you can have the value itself. But it would be better if you're going to use this one plus that one. Right? Now, concatenate is, for example, again, let's say grade 10. And you want to join that. Okay, how do you do that? Is that you just use the function concatenate, and then this cell, and then followed by that one. And for you to give a space in between, remember that the space is also a character, you need to do that. Okay, the Excel will tell you what is next in the parameter. Alright, so that is it. Okay. Now, let's go back to our theories. Now, so we have this one, a cell reference. Yes, it identifies a cell arranged in a worksheet. Okay, for example, you will see the cell reference on the name box of the cell. Right now, there are types of references. This one is one of the most important topics that you need to know. Okay, we have three types of cell references. We have relative, we have absolute, and mixed references. Now we are going to define it one by one. Now when you say relative, it changes when you copy the formula. Like just like for example this one here. Okay, supposing you're going to have the photo shoot. Okay, supposing the photo shoot will give you, let's say, per session. Okay, let's say you wanted the photo shoot for just 5 times session. We wanted for another event, you wanted 12 sessions or you wanted 10 sessions. Now, supposing that each session will cost you 1,000. Okay, you can have the formatting here on this one, the number. You can do that if you want that one. Okay, you just explore. Now, if you're going to have a formula here, if relative will be like this. Okay, you just multiply it and with this one. Now the relative is that one. However, that's the autofill. However, what have you noticed is that yes, that's relative. When you drag it down, the cells will just copy. What you need here is an absolute cell reference. Now, what is an absolute cell? Okay, what it does? Okay, it does not adjust the cell reference when you move or copy the formula. You are going to use $signs in its address. Take note that one for the column, this one, that's the column, one for the row, meaning to say you are going to freeze the cell. Okay, now let's go back to Alright, now let's go back to our example here. You wanted to freeze this one because you wanted that price will be frozen from that one. Diha lang siya. Okay? So how it does is that you don't want to freeze the column A because these data here, this value here, the 1000 that's what you are going to look for. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to have the function, or you need to put $sign. Okay, that's the column and this is the row. Okay, now if you're going to have it down like that, now take note, this hashtag sign means to say the data or the values cannot be contained, cannot be accommodated in the cell size. Okay, so you just need to have that like that. Okay, double click. Okay, now if you're going to click on the cell, you've noticed that it was not moving. Okay, so how about this one here? Yes, if take note, when you click on the cell, it was frozen to that value. Okay, now, ma'am, can we have the shortcut to this? Yes, you can have the shortcut to that. How it is being done? Okay, so let's go back to that one. The shortcut for absolute is that function F4. Yes, you have heard it right. It's function plus F4. On your keyboard, you can see there function and then F4. Okay, so you just have to make use of the autofill. That's the absolute cell reference. Now, if we also have the hybrid, or we call it as, okay, now by the way, this is a tip, pressing F4 for Windows 7, but if it's Windows 10, you're going to press function plus F4. You are going to toggle, or you can change several times with the $sign. Now, if it's a combination, we call it mixed cell reference or mixed references. Okay, it's a combination of relative and absolute. Alright, take note that the first is column and the second one is row. So in this case, the column is not frozen, the row is frozen. In this case, the column is frozen, the row is not frozen. Okay, it depends upon your application class. Alright, so now in Excel, okay, the same with the concept in programming, we also have hierarchy of operations, the same concept of your calculators. Now, if you'll be given this expression or equation, what would be your answer? What would be your answer, anyone? Okay, remember that we have PEMDAS or parentheses, exponentiation, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. Now, question, in the event, if magdungan ang multiplication and division, okay, in the expression, which comes first? What is first to be calculated, or what is first to be calculated, computed? Alright, you may say, ma'am, multiplication. Okay, but actually the answer is it depends. Okay, which comes first? Remember that the multiplication division have the same level and the addition subtraction have the same level. You just need to see from left to right which comes first from that operation. Alright, so if in the event division ang naguna, then you are going to execute division first before the multiplication from left to right. Right? So for example, this one, there are no parentheses in between, so you need to have this one. You need to have the multiplication because it comes first. Okay, so what would be the answer? Okay, of course, 10 minus 2 is equal to, right, you got it right, equals to 8. However, if parentheses is there in the expression, you need to solve the expression within the parentheses first. Alright, how do you do that? So that would be 5 times 2, 10 minus 4. That would be, alright, 6 divided by 2. That is 3. Right? And how about this one? Of course, you need to solve what is in the parentheses. Okay, so 2. And then 10 minus 2, that gives us, of course, that gives us 8. Okay, so yes. Now another feature in Excel we call it sum function. It quickly adds range of cells together. Now, for example, you want to add these cells, okay, the range of cells. To quickly add these range of cells, you just click on add a cell. Alright, so that's how quick it is. Okay, so if you've noticed, right? So it's activity time. Now, you are going to make use of the cell references. You're going to make a business. You don't have to have a net cafe. You could have milk tea, you could have your bar, or any business wherein you are going to make this type of spreadsheet. You can make use of the absolute cell references, the relative references, and you can make use of the formula and the functions. Okay, so see you next time. Thank you very much for your time. Goodbye.